What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games, or later on your favorite podcast servers. B. Dave Walters and Erin M. Evans talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. If you hear this live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. But until then, Erin, B. Dave, take it away.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels Saga, a 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms, featuring 3 of your favorite Idle Champions, Brita Havilar and Mehen. I'm also a content designer for Idle Champions. I'm the author of the upcoming Empire of Exiles, which I have some fun news about.
By the way, speaking of that, you can put in, I think as long as Jordan turned it on, Jordan, if you didn't turn it on, go turn it on. There's a code that you can put in the chat, !EOE, and you can enter a giveaway to win a copy of Empire of Exiles.
This is a giveaway through Goodreads and my publisher, Orbit Books. It is for 100 Kindle copies of Empire of Exiles. So if you are interested and you add it to your shelf in Goodreads, you can enter that giveaway. It is only for US readers, unfortunately. This one, there's some weird rights tangle up that I will not go into. Hang on, let me clear up for chat.
You have to, don't put it in there a bunch. You just have to click a link and go there. It's not like a Twitch giveaway. Apologies.
Enter it. It ends on the 21st, I believe. So you have some time, but the more people that add this to their shelves, the more that my publisher goes, oh, people do want to read this book, and then good things happen. And also, you could get a free book, so that's exciting.
Quad knows what they did. Dave Walters, it's my face. Yeah, I'm taking. Yay! It's again, it was my reanimated corpse last week, y'all. Y'all didn't want to see that. And I'm in the process of taking another COVID test right now. So if you see me looking like this is me waiting for the test results. Hi. It's appropriate that we're talking about Spelljammer today because I have been traversing across space and time for the last 7 days. Yeah, just like Gandalf after he fought the Balrog, as he's like tirelessly twisted above me until each day was the length of an age of men. Yeah, so but I'm back. Also, I'd like the record to show, even though I'm really upset that like I'm getting all small and losing my gains, Erin M. Evans couldn't get both hands around my arm.
Nope.
That happened.
They're massive people.
That was the high water mark of all this.
It's a giant man. But yeah, we're here today to talk about Spelljammer because Spelljammer came out yesterday. And I also forgot look at with the product placement ready to go.
The product placement. You see
look
that?
at that.
You like that? That's the thing I do. Hang on. I'd be remiss if I didn't say tonight, 5 PST.
Oh God, it's so good.
The multiverse. We have a cameo by Mr. Matthew Mercer and Mr. Jim Zub as Minsky and Boo. So
I'm so excited.
I will again. I'm hard to trick. They tricked me with this one when they showed
really.
up. I did not expect it. That is all. It's all true. Yeah.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
I also forgot that today's episode was named by Lauren yesterday. It is Spelljamming.
We jamming.
But yeah, so I mean, a few months ago, B. Dave got to say the magic words, Spelljammer confirmed, and now it's out and it's here, and we get to talk about it. And so I thought it would be kind of we can talk about those as it comes up. I was talking about like the differences that there are because old Spelljammer was super weird.
Yeah.
And now it's a little more streamlined. But where would you all want to start with Spelljammer?
I want to hear about old school Spelljammer because I did not experience.
Can we get old man Walters out here to talk about Spelljammer?
Hello, kids. They wheel me out from the home on occasion and talk about how the game used to be when you had to calculate tobacco and bend bars, lift gates, and then there's a little game called Spelljammer where you might not recall, but in the early in the early odd 80s there was an uptick in science fiction where people wanted to go into space to tell the stories. Something about a starship Enterprise. There was some boy who was a Jedi or something of that.
Something
nature.
about a falcon that was a millennium old.
I don't understand the millennials, Falcons otherwise. So They wanted to tell stories that were set in space, so they just said, well, what if you took your Dungeons and Dragons vessels, your ships, your wooden cranes, and just went into the sky with them? And that's what Spelljammer was. There was dwarves and there was gnomes and goblins, but they was all out in space. Mind flayers, lots of things to eat your brain, celestial spheres as far as the eye could see, and it was wild. In the 80s, we partook of a number of substances that were required to make it. And you were able to just go journeying through the stars with your friends. And now it is all back again. And you can take your vessels. Again, they're vaguely ship-like. At least now, a few of them look more like a spaceship of some sort. Although some of them are capable of landing in the water. Some of them are capable of landing on the ground. But not all of them. Read carefully, because you don't want to land your astral moth on the ground and then just have it collapse under its own weight there. And then you'd be stranded. That's a very different adventure you'd be having at that point. And that's what the Spelljammer is. It is Dungeons and Dragons in space.
Spells.
Love it.
I think that was the best appearance by Old Man Walters to date.
Again, because I feel 7,000 years old now. That's what yeah. Spelljammer, all jokes aside, that's what Spelljammer was. It was D&D in space. It made absolutely no sense. It was ridiculous. If you ever go look at any of the old Spelljammer ships, they facelifted it just enough to be able to keep a straight face, but it's still kind of like, why does this galleon sail through space? Because reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like you mentioned, you hinted at Star Wars and Star Trek, but I get it. I saw someone mention that they feel like there's a lot more Hitchhiker's Guide in Spelljammer, and it is the little more that vibe. Like it is a little more like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Flying monkey people, why not?
Yep.
Psychic praying mantises, why not? Although those are Dark Sun thing, but
3 cream. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People made a gloop. Why not a gloop person?
Why not a gloop?
Plasmoids. Yep. Yeah.
I feel like that's the new Zoidberg. Not why not Zoidberg. Why not gloop?
Not the gloop. Yeah. It's funny because I think Spelljammer is very beloved and niche, and way more people talk about Spelljammer and have positive memories of it than ever played Spelljammer laid end to end. But it's great to see it come back, because it did become a meme that is like, oh, Spelljammer confirmed, and then I did get to say the words.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah, it's so basically everything you know about D&D is still true. And now if you played the old game, the crystal spheres are not a thing. That was the structure of the universe. If you know anything about like the evolution of astronomy and stuff, there was a theory for a long time that the universe really was this series of concentric crystalline globes and structures is what the universe was actually made out of. So in Spelljammer, it was. You got out there and you kind of could like ride the rail of like these orbs and things, or you see them in space. So in the new edition, that's not really a thing, although some of them are still there. They're just all busted up and broken for an unknown end. So you can see bits and pieces of like smashed celestial orbs. But now it's mostly the planets have space around them. So there's like Kryn has like Kryn space, which is where the Forgotten Realms are set and stuff, right?
Nope.
And
that's
then
Dragonlance. Realm spaces for realms.
Realm space is Forgotten Realms. Kryn space is around Kryn. Don't ask me why I'd have that on my mind. But and then in between there's a place called Wildspace where the rules kind of don't apply, where you can kind of go as fast as you want type thing.
Space pirate time!
Space pirates. And then in between that is the Astral Sea, because Wildspace kind of lays over the Astral Sea. Wildspace is in the Astral Sea, but it's not the same as the Astral Sea. They kind of commingle. And then like the lovely Erin said, flying monkey people, mantis people, goo people, you know, whatever you want. And I think I got my first negative test. Yay! Heck yeah. Sorry. I was telling them before we started, I'm super paranoid though, because this test, it's the same thing, it's just a different brand, and at every stage it's like, if you don't do this right, you'll get a false negative. If you don't do this right, you'll get a false negative. If you don't do, and now I'm like, yay, it's negative. Or is it?
Yeah, well, it's the first one, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no,
if I'm patient zero, I apologize to bring ruin to
for the
world
zombie
we're in.
apocalypse.
Exactly.
I watched I watched a video earlier of Chris Perkins talking about like what this kind of cosmology looks like, and it really did kind of come down to like it actually kind of sounded like Barovia when he was talking about it, because like you're in Wildspace and you know everything looks normal and whatnot, and then you get out towards the edges of it and there starts to be kind of this like fog and mist that becomes the astral plane, and so it kind of felt like the mists of Ravenloft and whatnot, except without, I mean, I guess it is kind of trying to kill you, but in a different way.
In a kind of like happenstance way.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel malicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really trying to trap you there. And you can kind of come or go based on your intention. Like in the ship, there's a person that is at the helm. They're in a special chair at the helm, and they are the Spelljammer. Spelljamming is what the ship does. So the person actually flying the vessel is the Spelljammer. And to a certain extent, you go where they want to go. The same with the Astral Sea. You can actually navigate the Astral Sea by pure intention. Which is funny because they just kind of mention that in passing, because it both makes for good and bad adventures there, where you're like, I want to be at this place, and you're at this place. Oh, this place is terrible. I want to go. And, you know, and you're like, you can't because
you don't really want to.
You don't really want to. Or the Astral Dreadnought will come with you type thing. You're like, I go back to the ship. And it's like, hey, I want to be on your ship too. Rah. You know, so.
I mean, if it's Astral Dreadnought, it's more of, I want to eat your ship. So yeah, the method of getting around is the Spelljammer ship, the thing that it's named for. Ooh. And I do know that there was some changes to like how Spelljammer ships work, and I do think that was another one of those like streamlined things where now it's, instead of having all these other things, it's just there's the Spelljammer helm. You sit in that, and you drive the ship. Yep.
You can have multiple helms. People can kind of fight over the helms. If I must say one thing, that, you know, as much as I love Spelljammer and had a vested interest in this happening, there's one thing that I still think is slightly lacking, and that's the actual ship combat. Like the ships have weapons, the ships have hit points, the ships can fight each other, but it's never really said this is how the ships fight each other, you know? Yeah. So I don't know if that will be clarified in the future, or if it's just supposed to be just roll on the Spelljammer's turn and let that be that, or...
Wasn't there ship-to-ship combat rules in Saltmarsh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you could repurpose those.
Yeah, I guess. What is the wild space, but not the ocean of the space? I don't know. But well, I thought another fun thing to talk about is you know, the fact that we're in this we're getting some new races that you can play as, that are, you know, kind of specifically in wild space and whatnot. I thought it'd be kind of cool just to talk about them quickly.
But I mean, again, once it's established, you can go anywhere. That's it. You can go anywhere. So you can have a Hadozi roll in the water deep now, you know?
So we got the Astral Elf.
Yes.
Who is I heard someone refer to as the Spock of elves.
Yeah. They're extra elfy. Well, I mean, I thought I was gonna say, aren't all elves the Spock of elves, but some elves are the hedonism bot of elves. So, yeah. Astral elves are the Spock of elves. Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Then we got auto gnomes.
Robot gnome.
Robot gnome. Robots.
Yeah, the Warforged gnomes. Yes.
Yeah. Megan Kenrick playing one on Legends of the Multiverse.
Indeed, she is. Shout out to Riddle.
I really like the fact that, because I was looking through a little bit of the mechanical stuff, and I really like the auto gnomes can use a hit die if mending's cast on them, but also I just like, in addition, your creator designed you to benefit from several spells that preserve life but normally don't affect constructs. So I like that they can still use cure wounds and all of that stuff. I think that's fun.
That is nice.
Yep.
And then actually, you know what? I want to hear, do they have a pronunciation? I want to hear if they do it.
It says, I'm gonna say GIF. GIF are split into two camps concerning how their name is pronounced. Half of them say it with a hard G, half with a soft G. Disagreements over the correct pronunciation often blossom into hard feelings, loud arguments, and headbutting contests, but they rarely escalate beyond that. They just went meta. They just went real meta with it.
As a GIF fundamentalist, there is only one correct pronunciation. That's, so, yeah.
That's why we're friends.
Hey, look, perhaps in the distant past, some GIF prophet intended it to be GIF, but they should have spoken up at the time, because the ship literally sailed without them. And it is what it is now. Yeah.
We are the GIF. No, we're not peanut butter.
That's the peanut butter people.
That's the peanut butter people. I actually did that one time. But I have a couple of friends who were like, "Nope, it's Jif. Do not fight me on this." And so one time I sent them a picture from the grocery store where it was Jif cereal, and I was like, "Hey, I finally found that Jif y'all been talking about."
Well, anyway, these are hippo people.
Hippo people.
With a big British colonialist vibe. They have blunderbusses and stuff.
That's what they are.
And monocles.
Yes, they're proper gentlemen. The GIF are.
Yes.
They all talk like this when the GIF come aboard the ship. There's a spot of tea for the GIF conquer. Yeah.
I find that so they have firearms mastery. They're like one of the few races where it's like, nah, there's guns. Guns are guns. But you have a mystical connection to firearms that traces back to the gods of the GIF who delighted in such weapons. It's such a funny little fantasy injection when it's like, why not just these are your culture's preferred weapons and you're raised using them, so therefore
the divine right of fire.
Yes, it is a part of our people.
It's culturally identifiable. Also, put a lot more effort into the blunderbuss than the proper pronunciation of the word gift.
I like how that progressively got more and more ridiculous into the voice.
That's what colonialism was like. I will say, just as a detail about GIF, another ability they've got is they're physically difficult to uproot. So in ship-to-ship combat, they're hard to knock off. Because one of the things about the Spelljammer vessels is they all have a centralized gravity. Mm-hmm. So if you knock someone off the ship, they actually enter into the orbit of the ship like a little moon, so they can kind of come back around and you take pot shots at them while they're flying overhead. But GIF are physically difficult to knock over. Yeah.
And then we've got the Hadozi, who you mentioned previously.
Lighting monkey people.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Mm-hmm. Monkey people. Travis McElroy played a Hadozi.
That's right.
Oh yeah, and DJ Knight played an Astral Elf. Someone else. There's two Astral Elf. Oh, Todd Kenrick also plays an Astral. Torvin is an Astral Elf. Yeah.
Torvin, what a character. And then we got the gloopy people, the plasmoid.
Plasmoids. Why not the plasmoid?
Why not plasmoid? Who's playing the plasmoid? Was it Abrea?
Abrea played it, and so did Anna Prosser. Also, and so did my voice actor buddy. Oh, geez.
I'm sorry, I'm no help.
Oh, I just don't want to say his name wrong.
Okay.
I'll come back in a second.
Okay. But the imagery of the plasmoid is one of the most perfect things I've ever seen, where it's this humanoid shape with leather armor and a bow riding a giant hamster. And I just love it so much.
So the one problem I have with this art is that if this is the first encounter you have with giant space hamsters, it is very confusing because I look at this and my brain goes, it is very tiny. Very tiny. I need another piece of context.
That's fair.
To establish that these are
banana for scale,
medium to small.
Yeah.
Well, they're both. There's the miniature giant space hamsters like Boo. Sungwon played Bugsy Blobagool. That's it. Sungwon.
There we go.
I just wanted to say his name right.
Actually, they do have a specific thing. Let me grab this. I noticed this yesterday. There's a specific thing about the hamsters.
Boo, the miniature giant space hamster, is roughly hamster size, and then actual giant space hamsters are roughly pony size.
This is true. Are we looking at a miniature giant space hamster or a giant space hamster?
Yeah, she needs context.
There just needs to be one other thing in that picture.
In space, there are.
Put a banana in this picture and make the scale clear.
So one of the things that, oh my god, why would you do this to me? Why are you like this? That's the giant space hamster. Okay, the first space hamsters were created by wizards who used magic to shrink giant space hamsters to the wee size, leading their creators to refer to them as miniature giant space hamsters. The magic was also made the space hamsters smarter and telepathic.
That's the thing that happens clearly.
Yep. These benign rodents are native to Wildspace, though countless numbers of them have found their way to worlds throughout the material plane, where they are known simply as hamsters. They keep their telepathic ability hidden from most other creatures they come near. So they've literally been like, nope, all hamsters on the material plane are miniature giant space hamsters.
There's a couple things like that are funny, but also make me go, wait, what? Because the other thing that maybe we should address is the space clowns.
You know,
oh Lord,
we're not done speaking about happy things.
Let's talk about happy things first. We got one more. Lastly, we've got the is it Thrycreen?
I would say Thrycreen.
There's three more.
There's three more.
Kinder and the Githyanki.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Well, I guess theoretically Kinder are even though they came out in the playtest for this, Kinder aren't coming back yet. Okay, sure. Anyway, I always said Thrycreen, but it is very much one of those things I only ever read and not said. So that's Thrycreen. I think Thrycreen rolls off the tongue a little better personally, but I think Thrycreen sounds more 60s sci-fi.
I get that. I mean, what would an episode of the show be if we didn't know how to pronounce something?
I'm just saying, it's not a hill I'm prepared to die on.
I still think doing a whole show about hard to pronounce D&D words would be.
We might do that.
I feel like that's what this show has been from its inception.
Yeah, I know, but let's just own it. Let's just own it.
We'll just get a list of them. But yeah,
this might be that episode because I'm looking at the list of things from the Astral Menagerie, and there's a lot of stuff I don't know how to say.
That's fair.
But anyway, Thrycreen,
they're the Mantis people.
Wait, hang on. There is a pronunciation in D&D Beyond. It's one of the ones that'll say it for you. So let's see here. Hold on.
Thrycreen.
It says Thrycreen.
All right.
It sounded like Thrycreen.
Thrycreen.
Yeah, very, very famous. Like,
which I will not be saying.
Pinky up, Thrycreen.
Pinky up, Thrycreen. Yeah. That's where the gift comes in. And the Thrycreen is what that is. Yeah. Fine artisanal.
They would tell you how to pronounce your own race's name.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're the psychic bug people, and they
2 sets of arms.
Yep. I mean,
they're
cool. Yep. They're just cool. Don't really have any other thing because like you said, they originally come from Dark Sun, but that's what I have to say about Dark Sun.
They left Dark Sun and went to space.
Yeah, the better place. Okay, I mean, I guess it's because it's already up on my screen. Yeah, they're space clowns now.
I hate them so much.
What I hate more is how much lore they put into this.
Can I read that?
Yes, please do. Please do. It's ridiculous.
Space clowns are the inhabitants of a wild space system known as Clown Space. The humans who once inhabited the system's 3 ring-shaped worlds placed their faith in a god of revelry. Their worship ceremonies were centered on festivals and frivolity. Over time, the people's happiness hinged on the ever-increasing consumption of elixir called Thrill Joy. Only after they became addicted did they discover that the priests of their faith had distilled the elixir from demonic ichor and the nectar of the bozo flower. Eventually, Thrill Joy transformed the faithful into fiendish creatures and blessed them with clown-like appearances. Space clowns got their Spelljammer hubs. The subsequent visits to other wild space systems led to contact with a multitude of other folk. In the wake of these encounters, love and fear of clowns has spread to all corners of the multiverse, just as space clowns have done themselves. Marauding space clowns feed on humanoid flesh. They travel through space in garishly decorated ships and sometimes take up residence on populated worlds where they set up carnival tents to lure curious onlookers into their clutches. They are armed with colorful painted raid guns that work only for them. These toys are harmless in the hands of anyone else. Okay. I have so many questions.
So many. Honestly, my first one is, how proud was the person that wrote this?
I think that they achieved their goals.
They did. They 100% did.
I have issue with the fact that this sets out that all representations of clowns stem from space clowns.
Yep.
But the opposite is confusing. Like, how did this independently arise?
Yes.
But okay, so all clowns, all people's associations with clowns comes from space clowns. Why would you love cannibalistic space clowns? Why would everybody in the entirety of the multiverse not see a carnival and try to burn it down from just meteor swarm?
I can't verify. I do when I first come across one.
But like, that's the thing is like, okay, there's wait, is it coulrophobia is the fear of clowns? Like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Stephen King's It messed everybody up.
Yep.
But also, lots of people are not afraid of clowns. Clowns are fine. Some people love clowns even. And on top of that, carnivals
Don't
are
trust
great.
those people.
I have absolutely no problem with clowns.
Oh no, yeah. One time at the restaurant I worked at, two people came in full clown makeup with a little service dog. They were the nicest people I'd ever served at that restaurant. But yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing. So yeah, like you said though, there's a bunch of other different creatures that showed up in Boo's menagerie of Astral Menagerie. There we go. I knew I was missing a word.
Let's talk about the people this space who have failed us all by giving this space clown spelljamming helms. The Doar.
The Doar. Penguin people.
Tiny space penguins.
I love them so much.
So cute.
They are very adorable. Yeah.
And see, unlike the plasmoid image that we were talking about, this one does give scale. The image of them is one of the most adorable things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like they have the little cloaks with the hoods.
And they're like colorful. It's like a little purple penguin in a cloak.
I love them so much. I have to make an NPC of these.
Jamming helm.
That's,
oh my god.
Brennan Lee Mulligan put one in the very first episode of Legends of the Multiverse.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
The so flip side of the adorable Doar are the Neogi, the opposite of adorable. Although I don't see a picture in here.
Big fan of them.
They're like, it's too horrible to look at. It looks like a spider with an eel neck.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah,
they're horrible.
There's Neogi in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Okay, I would just like little behind the scenes here. So the vibe of Spelljammer is supposed to be Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
So I've expressly been tasked to tell my own fair share of terrible stories. And then they were like, hey, you want to tell a Spelljammer story? And I'm like, can do. And they're like, but the vibe is Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like, yeah, but check this out, though. You put a significant number of brain-eating monsters in here. And that's not on me. Okay? If you didn't want things to eat brains, you shouldn't have put like 3 or 4 brain-eating things. Because now I'm gonna have them try and eat people's brains. Like that's just that. Again, that's not on me. We can do it happily. We can have a.
Dave's like, I didn't do this. You did this.
Literally, you did this. we can have a cheerful romp through space as the Nethalgu, which is a brain-eating spider thing that is right above
that thing.
Right above the
image of that in the adventure book though is terrifying. Because I'm like, oh yeah, that's a nasty thing. I don't want to deal with that. And then I saw the in-action picture. I went, no, thank you ever.
Peeking out of the dark of the ship. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yep. So I'm like, there you go. If you didn't want me to do it, you shouldn't have given it. You shouldn't have put those toys in the toy box.
But there's also 2 new dragons.
Okay, wait, hang on. Time out. Excuse me. This is Gith Erasure. Thank you very much. The Gith Yankee.
They're not in the book. That's what I was talking about.
Prominently feature in Spelljammer. That's all. They're already in the game, I know, but they're out there. If you want some orange leathery pirate goodness, you know, which more or less Jedi leaning, might I
That's
interest
true.
you in the Gith
If
Yankee
you
and
want
the
a
Gith
good
Sarai.
excuse to, draw a sword in the middle of a stream.
Self-validate. It's over there. Otherwise, I would go get it. Yeah.
Plus,
just,
we literally did 2 episodes about them.
Just saying.
Okay.
Shout out. This
Okay,
is their
they're
time.
there.
This
They're
is what
there.
for.
They're round.
The mind flayers have not overrun all of reality because of the sacrifice of the Gith Yankee people and the Gith Zerai. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And no one thinks they're Jif Zerai or Jif Yankee.
So then, yeah, we also got 2 new dragons though, and I love me some dragons. So there is the Lunar Dragon, which I mean is very much as it says. It is a dragon of moons, and it's got I like the look of it. I don't quite know how to describe it. It's just kind of rocky, but like weird rocky.
Yeah.
Jellyfish. Yeah, they burrow. The Lunar Dragons do.
I do enjoy this little bit that Lunar Dragons enjoy depriving other creatures of treasure more than acquiring the treasure themselves.
I mean,
It's a very specific vibe.
I too am petty, you know.
Yes.
And like to play keep away.
Today I learned the Lunar Dragon is my D&D spirit animal.
Yeah. It's not that I take joy in possession. I take joy in your denial. Yes, exactly. Although that isn't true. I take extreme pleasure in possession, especially of books. But yes. I know this is going to come as a complete and total shock, but Lunar Dragons and Solar Dragons do not get along. And Lunar Dragons are typically evil, but Solar Dragons are typically neutral. I appreciate they're like, I have no strong feelings on it either way, except screw that guy in particular. Yeah.
Is that a moon?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Let's go. The Astral Dragon, which I think might be the most unique dragon look that we've had in D&D so far. It's something that's called a dragon, just straight up, and that has doesn't have like the 4 legs and whatnot. I mean, I guess you could say the dragon turtle, but this thing is it's a giant snake with wing arms, and I love it. It's super cool looking. Other than that, I don't know.
Born in the heart of a star.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty badass.
It's very metal.
And layer in the stars.
I mean, they should, right? That'd be cool.
They should. Let's just say they do.
Yeah.
That'd be a great adventure title. Layer in the stars.
Yeah. But, you know what I don't... Oh, there we go. There's the Photonic Breath. What kind of damage is this?
Radiant.
Is it radiant?
It is.
Yeah, it is radiant damage. Yeah.
Radiant damage.
That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
They are pretty neat.
Let's see. What are the ones?
This is a very small one, but can we talk about murder comets?
Yes, we absolutely can. Which, by the way, is in the first page of the new Pack Antics that started up yesterday. It's Pack Antics in space. It's kobolds in space. So I had to use a murder comet.
This is again. There's the vibe, right? It's not trying to build a coherent world where, like, you could theoretically explain all of the bits. It's like, if magic plus space, what do we want to do? Murder comets?
Yeah. Well, the murder comets, some of them are just constructs, and they're just like a plot from a Death Clock song, and then other ones are the actual spirit of the wizard in the comet. So they may or may not be sentient, and they may or may not be here to eat. Well, they're all here to eat your face. They may or may not. Yeah.
I love that they're categorized as an elemental.
Yeah, because it's like they mix up. It's basically like evil spellcasters went, what if we took earth elementals and fire elementals and mashed them together and filled them with loathing?
Yeah.
So you can get a posse of murder comets coming at you, and I love it. A gang of murder comets.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah, is that what we want to go with? It's a gang, or like what is the grouping name for a collection of murder comets?
I do like a loathing of murder
A
comets.
loathing, a spite.
Spite of murder comets.
What if it's a snuggle of murder comets?
Don't snuggle with the murder comets.
Or do.
A snuggle.
I'm just saying, has anybody tried?
A snuggie of murder comets.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Like to mention, it doesn't require air, food, or drink. Can you imagine if it did?
Yeah,
he's like whipping by. It's like, can I get a pizza?
Get a pizza. Has to do several loops through the drive-thru because it just can't stop.
Maybe maybe that's all they've been trying to do this entire time. They're just like super dehydrated.
That's why they're mad.
And everybody on the Hadozi vessel is all manning the harpoons and stuff when all it wants is just like a pint.
Oh my gosh. our green paradox in the chat, what do they drink? Moonshots? Or moonshine. Moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one time that's the one time the Lunar Dragon and Solar Dragon get together, because it's got to be a moon and shine. So you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So many things.
Wait. They just run a bootlegging. They just like have a still that is supplying all the Wildspace. That's what it is. That's why they don't get along too. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. We got quite a few questions, but before we get to those, any last thoughts or things you want to bring up about Spelljammer?
There's so many things in here. The Rhaegar are jellyfish people. Kindori are space whales.
Big fan of Rhaegar. Big fan of Kindori. If you haven't seen Legends of the Multiverse, you get like a broad sampling of all of a lot of these things.
If you want to see Brennan Lee Mulligan do a great Cad Bane impression,
there's vampirates in space.
I was very proud to bring the vampirates to glorious sunlight.
Oh heck yeah!
Mm-hmm.
That was I love that. That's one of the last pages too, because you get through this roller coaster ride of space clowns and space whales and everything, and then there's vampires in. And you're like, you just left a nice little gift for us.
I like a rigorous world building. I like a feeling like someone's really structured it, but I also I may not like space clowns, but I like what they represent, which is that someone went in here and said, what do I want to do here? What's cool? And they just threw all the things in and said space, and it's delightful.
What's maximally terrifying is the question they ask themselves. Yeah.
But also tiny space penguins and little
I know. It's so good.
And telepathic hamsters that don't talk, if they don't speak to you, it's because they don't respect you. Yeah.
Also, they breed space wine, which is like winged boars, so tiny penguins with flying pins.
Oh my god!
Oh, the chewingas. We didn't even talk about the chewingas.
The chewingas, yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Right on the back of goldfish.
Backs of space goldfish.
Space guppies.
Mm-hmm.
The image of the one that has the fishing pole.
Cute.
Oh my god.
Yep. Hey, available now wherever fine
D&D products are sold.
D&D products are sold. There you go. Adventures in space.
Boss. Okay, let's check in with chat and see what they've been up to while we've been talking. Catch23 says, question, how much Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy hitchhiker lingo is too much in a Spelljammer game?
Yeah, your table may vary, man.
Yeah.
Just give everybody a towel when they show up.
Before the players pull knives.
Yep.
Yes. Especially if they're laser knives.
Or don't, if you're going to die as you've lived.
Mm-hmm. This is from... I always get this one. Sweden? I think that's how I say it. Question, what would it take to shatter a crystal celestial orb? What does old man Walters think about that?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Sorry, give me that again.
What would it take to shatter a crystal celestial orb?
An unknown divine power. Stay tuned.
Ooh.
Bum
Bum bum
bum bum bum.
Jamek Unyielding, what if the multiverse is just all one big dread domain?
It's not.
It's not.
Who's the dreadlord of
the multiverse?
Tiamat.
Of Spelljammer. of
Oh,
like
of
of Wildspace.
I was gonna
Right.
Tiamat. What? Or it's all Bloodspur because it's all the mind flayers and although the Githyanki and the Githzerai are working so hard to stop the mind flayers, so it's their personal hell. So I think there is an original Gith, that was her name. That's they're named after Gith. So I think Gith is the Dark Lord of Wildspace, and that's why they can't find her because she got what she wanted. They beat the mind flayers, but they haven't. They're loose everywhere. Yeah, so there you go.
I'm in for this. Yeah. Cassie's 335 question: was there ever just space hamsters at any point before giant space hamsters came along? I mean, maybe.
I think
That's
the
a really interesting question.
that is actually really interesting.
I think the giant are supposed to be the default, and then
Right.
the
So why do we
wizards
call
made
them
miniature giant.
Yeah, but like if the miniature giant space hamsters are the hamsters that we just know, why are they called giant? Because that's their original form.
I mean, the meta reason is because it started as a joke, right?
Correct.
But yeah, I guess that is an interesting question. I mean, we see things like pandas are technically giant pandas because I guess there's a red panda. Maybe that's related. I don't know. It is a question. Like if there's just space hamsters are pony sized, and then miniature space hamsters are hamster sized.
What if there was a red space hamster?
Whoa.
Oh. Just at the head of a Spelljammer ship.
Man, I feel like that is a missed opportunity. Having
really is.
A player race that's little red panda people.
Oh my god!
It's not too late.
It's not too late. Okay. Jay McUnyielding comes back and says, question: I recently saw Mark Muir DM'd an episode of Black Dice Society featuring a clown named Bonkers at the carnival. B-Dave, was he a space clown? Because he sounded like a space clown.
We do not speak of Bonkers. That's all I would say about that. It's the carnival has plenty of its own terror that is just homegrown in terrestrial. Technically, he would be a clown from the Feywild because that's where the carnival came. No. Wait, I'm getting this wrong. The Witchlight Carnival stayed in the Feywild. The Carnival is from Ravenloft.
But going by Spelljammer, which Erin even said, like, all clowns originate from the image of these clowns.
Well,
does that mean that the Dread Domain found a space clown's like, well, this is freaking great?
That's not what happened.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the brain-eating spider called again?
Hang on, I still have it right here.
This was from Tarji the Terrible.
There's two that sound a lot alike, so I want to make sure I say the right thing. Yeah, the Nethalgu, NEH-THALGGU, on page 39 of the book or PDF. Nethalgu.
So, Lurking Writer got me just with a quick one. Just in the comments, Bob. That's what they're called. They're called Bob.
They can identify with Bob. It takes nothing to respect the Nethalgu.
Get a Ceto? I'm gonna go with get a Ceto. Are there aboleths in Spelljammer?
Aboleths don't come up in Spelljammer, I don't think.
Well, yeah, because they're underground. So I mean,
are they generally like in the far realm?
And this is a thing where we've got like a lot of edition mishmash, right? Because there's versions of aboleths where it's just an Underdark monster, and then there's versions of aboleths where they are anchored in the far realm, and also they can fly. And so depending on what you're doing, it might very well fit very nicely to have aboleths in the Wildspace.
There's a
where nicely means god terrifying.
There's a there is a random encounter table in the DM screen. No, not the DM screen. In the
Light of Xerxes.
Yes. So let me. I'll look and see if there's any
bullets on
in
there.
that.
Okay.
It's not the Light of Xerxes. It's in here somewhere. It's or is it Boo's Astral Menagerie that has that random encounter table? Light of Xerxes is the. Yeah.
What?
Wait. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Keep talking.
Oh yeah, it does.
Okay.
Astral Encounters, right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna see. I'll see if there's any aboleth in this thing. So,
this is from Ateus. Question: what is your favorite spelljamming ships? And I will say, keep an eye out for future Pack Antics for my answer.
have to go back and look because I looked at them and it was a lot of like, ooh, this one. No,
No, there was a lot of that.
I think
I
like the Damselfly, just as a start. It's got a nice like Art Deco vibe.
yes.
And also, this is not for practical reasons. It's just for aesthetics.
Yes. I also really like second favorite is the Jellyfish Ship or the Squid Ship. That thing looks so freaking cool.
I just like the nautiloids because the look on everybody's face when I describe them ripping out of reality.
Oh yeah. No, I meant the squid shaped one, not the nautiloid one, but the one that's just shaped like a squid. I don't know what it's called. But the nautiloid is super cool and terrifying.
I will say the search function in Boo's Astral Menagerie is not cooperating with me, but there is there's a random encounter table. I don't think there's any aboleths on there, but I by no means have an encyclopedic knowledge of everything that is. What I will say is if you want them out there, they're out there. The beholders are out there. Beholders have whole in their ships.
Oh yeah, they're so creepy.
Yeah.
They look like giant beholders made out of asteroids. It's so cool.
No two look alike. It may or may not look like a beholder. It's each individual beholder thinks they have the best one. So
also, apparently I was just right with my quick description. They are just called Squid Ship. Let's see.
If you really want to laugh though, go Google the old second edition Spelljammer ships.
Yeah.
There's some really funny ones in there.
They are impractical.
One that looks like a swan.
Yep.
That's the one that I remember.
Yeah.
Yep. Then it's just called a swan ship.
Okay, let me see here. This is from the Lurking Writer. Question: do murder comets exist in order to deal with asteroid spiders? In my head, yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Some wizards like, we got an infestation of asteroid spiders. What are we gonna do about it? And some other wizards like, I know, magic. Let's mix these two things together and we'll just fling it at it and it will burn up.
Okay.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah. This next one might be one of my favorite things I have read in this document. This is from Lexunam. I'm gonna go with Lexunam. Question: I have a theory that the crystal celestial cat that uses the tail to throw the crystal celestial orb off the table is necessary in order to shatter the orb. What do you think?
This does sound like the foundation of a new religion.
It really does. All hail the celestial cat.
It's not there.
It's not. Let me see. That's not quite a real relevant to it, but we'll see. The Lurking Right says, question: Star Wars has space slugs, exogroths. I actually did not know that's what they were called. Are there any in Spelljammer equivalent? So like the I think he's talking about the asteroid thing that came out and nom 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 nom.
Yeah, asteroid spiders are a thing. Yep.
Wait, are they that size?
Asteroid spiders are big enough to attack ships.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
No!
Oh yes.
Trevor.
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, my day's ruined.
It's my gift to you, buddy. Yep.
Thank you.
They're not called asteroid spiders though. I have to remember what they're called. But yes, they're big enough to attack ships. They feed on ships. That's what they do. They like catch them in their webs and then they reel it in and then they eat everybody on the ship.
Hate everything about what you just said.
I mean, now you know how I feel about the clowns. Yeah.
That's fair. We'll wrap this up with Lacanus 21 question. If you were to make a subclass for Spelljammer, what classes would you choose? So I think not just like what would the subclass be, but what class would you pick to make a subclass for that was Spelljammer themed?
I feel like I've forgotten what they have, so I don't want to be like, I'll do this thing that's already in the book.
Well, I don't know if there were any.
Oh, there aren't any, are there?
No,
there's some new spells. I think having an artificer who's specifically about making and cooling up ships,
yes,
would be pretty cool, pretty neat.
That would be really cool.
For that.
I would very much
also go with big ship to ship fights.
Mm-hmm.
I would lean into the nonsense and I would have some sort of captain subclass so I could be James Tiberius Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's just a bard, but I mean, I would, yeah, I'd do something.
I think I would probably go for sorcerer. But I would want it to. I would just want to make a Destiny warlock in D&D, where it's just like you can throw out a Nova bomb at people and stuff. So I just want Destiny in my D&D game. That's my answer. But I think that is a good place to wrap this one up. We're almost out of time. Friends, where can people find you? What awesome things you working on?
You can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can join me with these guys on our podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit, wherever you download your podcasts. Although this week we're off because I had too much work to do.
So good.
You can also get work done with me on Mondays at 1:30 on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers for Concentration Check, a co-writing space. Dungeon Scrawlers also has a fun episode today at 6:30 p.m. Pacific with Rhiannon Held doing kind of some specific character stuff. So if you want to know what happens in Artemisia, that's for you. And once again, enter my books Goodreads giveaway. There will be a couple more of these things, but if you want a free book, this is a great way to get it. And having it in your Goodreads shelf is a nice reminder that you like this book and you want to read it.
It's good.
B. Dave Walters, I say words about things may or may not be clear because there's some debate if the super faint line is still a positive test. So now I'm going to take another test with a brand I know. So who knows? But at
Round
least
2.
It's not like glowing radioactive positive like it was previous days.
That's good. That is good.
That counts as progress. Tonight, 5 p.m., Legends of the Multiverse. Matt Mercer and Jim Zub making an appearance tonight. Tomorrow, Black Dice Society, hopefully returning, hopefully going. Well, I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to do, but it is Spelljammer adjacent. I'll tell you that. And follow me on the Tweetagrams at B. Walters for an encyclopedic accounting of my journey through COVID, which you should probably read, because if not for the freaking positive test, I still wouldn't think I had it. What I've experienced has been completely different than what I was told. So yeah, and maybe may or may not be patient 0. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out.
You don't want to fight the B-Dave zombie.
True.
Before I give mine, I'm just going to say, hey, again, Pack Antics started up a new thing. We got new champions and we've got new adventures. So check out our socials and our Discord channel to catch up on all the Pack Antics that has happened in Witchlight and now all the new ones that are just going to be happening in Spelljammer. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me. And I'm not just saying that because I'm writing it, but I am kind of just saying that because I'm writing it. But you can follow me on Twitter at the Treavor. There is an A hiding in there. And someone asked in the chat, I saw really quickly, what Destiny boss would I want statted out into D&D, and the first thought I had was Fogoth. I just love that strike from Destiny 1, and I really wish it was still in Destiny. But let's see. Thank you so much to Jordan for moderating the chat, and thank you to Lauren for producing, and thank you to Codename Entertainment for just letting us have some fun, talk about some D&D. If you missed any part of the show, you can catch it later as a podcast on your favorite podcast service, and you can rate us on there and let us know what you think and what stuff you'd want us to talk about on there. But, only the 5-star button works, so don't bother clicking the other ones. But that is going to do it for this week's episode. So until next week, champions out.